Welcome, welcome everyone. Our guest today is Joe Eatmon. Joe is one of the deans out at Shelton State Community College. Former basketball coach, very successful basketball coach, by the way. Won a bunch of championships and everything else. And good friend. First time I believe we met was through your relationship at Shelton State, and Joe would take his basketball team out to the Tuscaloosa Youth Detention Center on first Saturdays, and those young basketball players would come out and play ball with the kids at the detention center, and then shoot around and shoot the bull with them, and just a tremendous thing that he was doing for the community, and that's a lot of why we want to talk with Joe, because he just does so much in all aspects of the community to be a role model and to address things that are inequity and just helping people out in general. So, Joe, what we like to do in this first visit is maybe take you. He was a McDonald's All-American basketball player. That's very rare if you don't know much about high school basketball. Just take you from your basketball career sort of up to where you're a dean out there now, and just sort of tell your story and talk about your family a little bit, you know, where you met Erica, and just take it away.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
We know you got it in you, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, from right here in Tuscaloosa, played basketball at Central High School. Like you mentioned, I was a McDonald All-American nominee coming out of high school. But the road wasn't, you know, my life, I tell people all the time, people think it's kind of been easy. It never was really easy. You know, even being a McDonald All-American, averaging 20 points a game in high school, I was still under-recruited. Wasn't recruited by a lot of schools. End up bouncing around for a while. End up going junior college in Mississippi, coming back, going to Stillman, going to another junior college in Alabama, signing with Howard, having a car wreck, messing my knee up, sitting out of school for a year. So it was a roller coaster, even with my playing career. But I was fortunate. I ended up playing 2 years at Belleville, ended up playing 2 years at University of West Alabama, and ended up getting into coaching. Meeting Erica, actually when I was a grad assistant, tell people all the time, you know a woman loves you when you're making about $600 a month, and she still wants to marry you.
She wasn't marrying you
yeah,
for money.
yeah, exactly. Because at the time,
Marry you for money, yeah.
at the time I was making about $600 a month, being a graduate assistant basketball coach at the University of West Alabama. I was fortunate to move on to being a high school coach at Linden High School, smallest 1A school in the state of Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. Coached high school basketball for 1
That's
year.
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in Marengo County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense to you people in Marengo.
Yeah. Very small town, you know, but it was great. Met a lot of, built a lot of relationships, met a lot of people there. That 1 year there was great. And had some difference of opinions with the football coach, who just so happened to be an AD. So I was called in after coming in first place in my area. I was called in and let go at the end of the year.
Oh my God!
Oh wow, what a reward, right?
Yeah. So it was, we moved on, and I was fortunate. God bless me. I was able to go back and get my first college assistant coaching job. So I was 2 years at West Alabama with Coach McCarter, who people, later on in life, Coach McCarter ended up being my assistant coach. But he gave me my start in coaching, and I was with him for a couple of years, and then he was let go. So, of course, in coaching, when he was let go, they kept me around for a little bit, but the new guy didn't really want to keep me, so I ended up moving on, and I got my first college head coaching job. And again, that's just God's hand in it. I was fortunate. I was able to go down to Alabama Southern Community College in Monroeville. Spent 1 year there, came in first place, and was called in and let go again
That's
No, you
success.
got to quit winning first place, man.
Success wasn't working.
I know.
It wasn't. It wasn't. You know,
Oh, man.
that was kind of my story. So I was let go there. You know, and it was a rough ride. You know, I tried everything. I told my wife, look, you know, I'm winning. I'm still getting let go. Coaching not for me. Maybe I should go teach PE or go sell cars or something.
Or just
I don't know.
lose.
Yeah.
Or just lose.
I just lose, and maybe I can keep my job. But you know, I was fortunate then. I was blessed to be able to come back home, come back to Tuscaloosa. Took an assistant coaching job at Shelton State. Had a lot of success. Coach Mohan gave me an opportunity, and then he stepped away, and he retired and moved down to Florida, and I became the head coach.
Yeah.
6 years as head coach. We won 5 championships. I was coach of the year 5 times.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So, you know, kind of made it all. I say it makes it all worth it, but it was tough when we were going through it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
And there's no telling how much impact you have by not only on the players on your team, but the people that you're interfacing with when you come in and bring those kids in the youth detention center. Probably a lot of them had never been in a detention center before.
Exactly.
And if anything, you say, man, this is someplace I don't want to be.
Yeah, well, it was great. Not only was it great for the kids at the juvenile detention center, it was great for my guys.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in service, and it taught them service, and I think that was all the stuff I used. You know, we talked about in the locker room all the time. I think when you put good out, you get good back. So you know, we were always heavily involved in the community. Because that not only teaches them to be, you know, our motto was there's more to life than basketball.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to show them that there was more to life than basketball, and that's what kind of sprung into this Dean of Community Relations role. So.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know that in addition to going to the detention center, we had several food drops in the community, and your team would come out and participate with helping in the food drops and just being there and just really helping out, just helping out.
And let's don't forget, I mean, if I'm honest, I may have had the little tickle idea, but that community event, you put the wind in the sails of that thing.
That was a great idea that you had, and you know, I think one of the areas I'm gifted in is just connecting people. And we were able to connect a lot of people through your vision, and I mean, we impacted 400 or 500 people that day. So it was great.
It was amazing. 16 people walked out with jobs.
Yes. Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah.
So talk about what this community, what the next step here, this community relations role. Tell us things you've been doing in that and how it's been impacting the community.
Oh God, we've been doing a lot. You know, my job now is basically to connect the community to the college. Go out in the community and find needs in the community, and find ways that as a college we can address those needs in the community. You know, we started out, we wanted to impact kids first, so we got involved with our Friday Night Lives events, where we went out to different communities and brought kids in and gave them an opportunity to have, you know, great experiences. That may not normally get those experiences. You know, we had games. We had a movie night in Haycourt where we brought the big screen out just like they do in Government Plaza, because a lot of those kids may not be able to make the movie nights in Government Plaza. So we had a movie night there in Haycourt where we fed them and had a good time. And we also had other community events, and we're actually about to spark that back up and have one over at New Heights Community Center at the end of this month. So, you know, we moved on. We impacted seniors. We started brunch and boogie for our senior citizens over at the McDonough Hughes Center and out at the Belk Center. We even went out to the forgot the name of it, the one up 43, the Parish Center up 43, and had where we brought food in for the senior citizen and allowed them to line dance and play games and gave away prizes. So that was always a cool experience. And also just in the meantime, just finding people in the community that we can help. You know, that's one thing that's my passion. That's something I think is my purpose, is to be able to just help people.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm impressed with Joe about is, in the midst of all this, he has the most beautiful family you've ever seen, and he's a great dad to those kids and husband to Erica. Talk about that family a little bit.
you know, I always tell people a lot of things I do, whether it be coaching, community, you know, a lot of times my family makes sacrifices for me to be able to do those things. And they've been ultra supportive throughout my entire career. And that because they know everything I do is for them. You know, I get up and I tell my kids all the time, there's no telling what I would do if I wasn't doing it for them. So, you know, I do it for them. You know, Joseph's 15 now. He's going through driving lessons and learning to drive. And Jordan's 14. She's growing up on me. Joy is 8. And Erica and I, we've been married for 16 going on 17 years now.
Wow.
So, you know, we've been fortunate. You know, like I said, the road hadn't been easy, but God's blessed us through it all. So,
yeah, you'll be walking those girls down the aisle before you know it.
Don't say
It
that.
happens real
Those boys gonna start
Yeah.
coming by.
yeah, I imagine they already are coming by. I'd be willing to bet. That's
Oh,
some
my
pretty
gosh.
daughters you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about the Unity Group too.
Yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about
Oh,
you know, we started Unity Group back in February of 2021, and it's been a while.
Yeah.
And see, who brought you originally into? Was that Brad?
Brad brought me in at the time when he was president. He did.
Okay,
He
yeah.
brought me he invited me to the group, and God, I've been blessed by it ever since. You know, we formed relationships.
You being there.
Yeah, we formed, you know, a brotherhood. Now, more than just relationship, we been able to form a brotherhood and been able to attack and address and talk about some serious issues. And it's blessed me. It really has. I tell people all the time, you know, a lot of times we look at stuff through the lens of our experiences and not realizing that there's another experience as well. And I think, you know, it selfishly we want things to work out through our lens, but at the same time, you know, there's another lens we've got to look through at the same time. And I think it's blessed me and helped me personally, professionally, and in all walks of my life to be able to understand that there may be another perspective that I need to look at when looking at situations. So
It's really an encouraging group, and I wish I could snap my fingers and everybody in Tuscaloosa experience something like that, because it really has blessed us all, and it broadens your horizon, it gives you more opportunity. There are just a ton of advantages that if you're not involved in it, you just don't see it. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is that relationships ruin racism, and it's so true.
That's absolutely true.
So if you're going to fight racism, what you'd want to be able to do is, how do I increase relationships? How do I make it to where it's easier for people to get in a relationship with one another? Because then things like racism become personal. And one of the issues that we have, I'm fixing to kick off another book, is that white people, for the most part, just don't see racism existing today. And it may not be the same form as it was back in 1960 or 1970, but it's still there. And you know, and the white guys in our group have seen it and experienced up front and personal. You know, we were at a church not long ago, a predominantly white church, and one of the members, bless her heart, got up and spoke to one of our folks and said, "Well, I hope you plan on behaving yourself today." And the member of our group did it with humor. And said back, well, I'm probably going to be okay, but my husband, you may want to keep an eye on him. And but stuff like that still happens today.
It does, and it's subtle. It's not as prevalent and as visible as it was, but it still exists. To a certain extent, and I think, you know, having those relationships and caring about each other has allowed us to be able to address a lot of those issues from within the group, and I think that's another great thing about the group. So it's been a blessing.
You brought Anderson, didn't you?
I did. I brought Anderson. You know, it was kind of funny because I first started coming, and I think at the time, it may have been, I think the only 3 black guys in it were me, Dunning. I think Greg was coming
Yeah,
at the
Greg,
time.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
there weren't a whole lot of white guys
Yeah,
either.
yeah. And this was before I knew you guys. I called Anderson. I said, "Hey, man, I need some help. I'm in this group. I need some help. I need you to start coming to this group." And Anderson, he's such a blessing. Growing up without my dad really in my life when I was younger, Anderson was one that I was always called on. And he's always been my sense of reason. Because a lot of times, he tell me. He's still on me to this day. So me and Anderson go back to when I was in middle and high school. He was kind of a mentor of mine. He's a great guy.
He's just a wonderful guy and just great sense of humor and just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Him and his family.
Great. They're great.
And so, Dan, you have any?
I have one more question.
Okay.
How did those kids enjoy the fishing trip with Brad?
Well, it's funny because they really did. They're ready to go back already. And that's another thing that this brotherhood that we've been able to form. Honestly, I've never been fishing.
Really?
So my kids went fishing before I went fishing.
Oh my gosh!
Because I was in Savannah at the time when they went, so they were able to go. They had a blast. And they're as soon as I called them on the way back, and they're like, "Dad, we want to go back." He said, "We need to go back when it's warmer, and we'll catch more fish. So we want to go back." So they're ready to go back already.
That's cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic. Personal interest story with Joe and I. Many of you that know our family know that our daughter suffered what it accounts to as a stroke back in August of 2021, and before she had her problem. She was evidently getting sick, and we didn't notice it, but her dog did. And she had a working line German Shepherd that started to be quite a handful, and we were looking for a place to try and rehome the dog. And I had tried everything, and it had boiled down to I was going to put out pictures one more time, and if that didn't work, I was going to take a trip to Maryland because I had a friend up there that was interested in taking him. And Joe said, I'll take you. So I took him over there and let Rocco out. Rocco's a piece of work. Okay, he busts loose and he runs over I'm thinking, oh no, Rocco's going to mess this up. He's going to go over and run over one of his kids or something. And he runs and sits right down next to your youngest daughter.
Yeah,
and that was perfect. The next day was a Sunday, and I found my daughter Lee laying unconscious in her kitchen floor, and I just don't know how I would have been able to handle that with a 85 pound working line German Shepherd running around going nuts at the same time. So it was God was looking out for me and used Joe to help us. Always be grateful for that.
Oh no, we were glad we were able to help. Rocco's the kids love him. He is a handful, but the kids love him, and we all love him. We all love Rocco. He's a part of the family now, and him and Luna, my Rottweiler, they get along great.
Oh, he's a piece of work. We have
anything else you'd like to share with? You're gonna come back, right?
I'm definitely coming back. I appreciate what you guys do. I think this is a great platform to spread a message that most people may not get. So I just encourage everybody to continue to watch, subscribe, share these videos, and spread the word, because I think this is good information for people.
And step outside your comfort zone. Get involved in something that you hadn't been involved in before. To do something to increase your relationship with someone, perhaps of another race or a different part of the city, and you'll find yourself being blessed.
Well, like Joe said, in the bottom right-hand corner of that screen, there's a little button that says subscribe. If you'll hover your mouse over to give you a button where you can subscribe to the channel, please like it and ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime we publish any additional videos, because we intend to keep this content going for a long time. So thank you for watching, and Joe, thank you so much, brother, for coming.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate you. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day.